I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to use my savings account to pay off my credit card debt. However, using my savings account to pay off my credit card debt would leave me with like no money in my savings account.
I have $52 left at the bank to last until Friday. Today is Monday. I have $135 coming out between now and then in credit card debt.
Debt used to be something you managed. Now it's something that manages you. People are drowning, not because they're lazy, but because the system rewards survival, not stability. Credit card balances keep climbing, minimum payments grow every month, and the only thing shrinking is your savings account. You pay the bill just to stop the bleeding, but every swipe cuts deeper. Think about it. You're not buying luxury anymore. You're buying time, paying just enough to keep the lights on, to stop the collectors from calling. And yeah, maybe you're making your payments. Maybe you're technically on track. But at what cost? You're draining your emergency fund, skipping investments, watching your hard work vanish into interest rates that don't care who you are or what you're going through. People tell themselves, at least I'm paying it down. But that's the trap, the illusion of progress. Because if you're emptying your savings just to chase a balance that never drops, you're not escaping debt. You're feeding it. And the longer you wait to face it head on, the more it owns you. Check out some of these videos because if you're tired of just surviving your debt, it's time to learn how to finally take control of it.
I have $52 left at the bank to last until Friday. Today is Monday. I have $135 coming out between now and then in credit card debt. A little bit stressed, but this is usually how it is for me most weeks. So if you do the math, we're going to be negative a little over $80, and I also have 33 miles left till empty. I can get away with putting about $15 in my car. Let's just say we're going to be negative about $100. Lucky for me though, I did do a pet sitting job over the weekend. It was a small one. I get paid for that today. She owes me $50. A lot of my clients do tip, so we'll see what comes of that. At least I won't be negative $100. Do you know that I need at least roughly $50 now to get me through the week? I would love to start Instacarting, but I've been trying to sign up for 2 years and it always says I'm on the wait list. I don't know how to go about that. I've emailed them. I did DoorDash a few years ago, and in my area, it's just not really worth it. So yeah. When I say I'm drowning in credit card debt, I truly mean I feel like I'm drowning in credit card debt. If I was not in $9,000 worth of credit card debt, I would not be in this situation right now. I would not go negative all the time in the bank. So that's when I brought my debt to TikTok. It was embarrassing at first, but then I realized this is real life. If you're in a similar situation like me, I say this in every video, but I highly encourage you to start a series, whether it's credit card debt, medical bills, whatever it is. Start a series. People will follow along because they want to be able to come back and check where you've gotten with your progress. Hopefully this month we are going to pay off my next lowest credit card, which is sitting a little under $600. We're just going to keep on keeping on.
This comment right here is why I keep showing up and being honest with y'all. I'm so proud of you. That is huge progress, and you should absolutely be celebrating that. What I really want to talk about is you were honest with yourself and me in the comment section. And that's the hardest part. Most people can't even admit where they are because the shame is just too heavy. This page is a safe space to be honest about your money. No judgment, no shame. And I need you to pay attention to what emotions come up when you watch my content. If you feel called out, ask yourself why. If you feel motivated, lean into that. If you feel shame, sit with it and figure out where it's coming from. Your emotional responses to money conversations will tell you exactly what you need to heal. The fact that you're here being honest and doing the work puts you ahead of so many other people. So keep going. You're almost debt-free. Life is about to change, and I'm rooting for you.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to use my savings account to pay off my credit card debt. However, using my savings account to pay off my credit card debt would leave me with like no money in my savings account. And I'm going back and forth and I'm weighing the options between like being vulnerable for a couple months while I build that savings account back up, but being able to say I'm debt free, or just like staying the course, continuing to pay off my credit card debt and having the savings account in case something comes up in the next few months where I need to tap into it. I think what's really driving me to want to use the savings account is like the emotional attachment to being credit card debt free. I originally set out on a goal to have my credit cards paid off by the end of June, and due to some unforeseen circumstances these past few months, I'm no longer going to be able to meet that goal unless I use my savings account, in which case I could still meet my original goal by the end of June. And I think that's why I'm considering it as an option. That being said, I really do not want to be vulnerable to taking on more debt. And I understand a lot of you guys are saying like, it's so stupid not to use your savings. You're going to be paying interest on your credit card debt. And I understand that. And I guess to me, I consider the credit card debt as like the cost of doing business. I originally calculated out the credit card interest to be $1,400 if I take 5 more months to pay off my credit card debt. I was wrong. No surprise that I'm not good at math, okay? I say it all the time. I decided instead to actually put my credit cards, their minimum payments, and their interest rates into a debt calculator. And at most, I would be paying like $550 in interest. So if I do take 5 more months to pay off my credit card debt, that's only about $100 every month. And the reality is, when I was deep in my unhealthy spending habits, I was spending more than that in a week on stuff that I didn't need. And I need to be credit card debt free. That's what I want to do. So if the exchange for that is that I have to spend $100 a month on interest, on money that I'm not going to get back, to me, I think it's worth it. Some other things that came up was like, a year ago, we had 30 days to put a roof on our house. That cost $12,000. A few years ago, my dog tore her ACL. That cost $5,000. Like, stuff does come up. We're homeowners. We have a dog. We have cats. We feel like it is our duty and our responsibility to be in a financial position to take care of ourselves and the animals that we have taken on, and our home. And I think that is why I'm not going to use the savings account. At least not all of it. I think what I might end up doing is using a small amount of it to pay off the credit card that has a 0% APR right now, because that APR expires at the end of June and I don't want to get hit with the interest for the past year. But I think that's the most I will do. I also got a lot of comments about opening up a balance transfer card, and I get where you're coming from. I guess I really don't want more cards. Like, my average age of credit is really low, and by taking on more cards, I think that will affect it, but I'm not totally opposed to it.
Happy Monday, everybody. We are back for a week 15 update on this debt payoff journey. I took a few days off because I realized this journey is going to take a while and I need a little bit more balance on my life. If you're new here, my name is Shannon. I'm working on paying off over $32,000 of credit card debt. I'm using side hustles to do it, and I'm sharing everything I learned along the way. When we started this journey 15 weeks ago, I had a total of $32,177.72 of debt. Yikes. As of today, though, we are down to $30,153.85, and I swear getting under that $30,000 mark has been the hardest feat ever, because every single time I go to make a payment, it's never big enough to negate the interest payment that inevitably comes up. In total so far, we have paid off $2,092.87. Now let's go over what we made in side hustles this week from lowest to highest. In last place, we've got Influence, which is a video response survey app. I made a whole 25 cents for doing one survey that I was approved for. Next, with Benevolent, I think I got one commission for 57 cents. The app is wonky because of the whole AWS shutdown rebooting thing, but I'm pretty sure it was just the one 57-cent commission, but I'm not 100% sure. Next is Brand Club, which is a brand loyalty and survey app. I made $1.80 last week. Next, with the Noise app, which is an app that pays you to post for brands to social media, and you get paid based off of how many views you get. I made $3.13. With D-Scout, I did one focus group that was nice and short, and I made $8 for that. And lastly, in first place, I did one focus group with Respondent, and I got a Visa gift card for $23.75. I hate that this one wouldn't let me cash out through PayPal, and it has to be a Visa gift card. So if anybody knows a little loophole where I can somehow make that go towards my debt, please let me know in the comments. But that brings our grand total for this week for $37.50, and the fact that I took several days off to kind of readjust my schedule and make sure that I wasn't leaving out things in my everyday life that I need to be doing just to side hustle felt really good. I feel like I'm back on track. I'm energized. My house is more organized. Things that are on my to-do list are checked off. So I'm feeling really good this week. So with that being said, we will see how well this week goes with being able to balance this, like, get everything done that I need to routine and side hustles. But let me know in the comments, what are your goals for this week?
As of 2 months ago, my husband and I had $43,500 in credit card debt. Yeah, you heard that right. How does that happen? 2 months ago, I cried out to the Lord, asking for wisdom, asking him to help us to pay this off, telling him that I am willing to do what we need to do to get out of this hole that we have dug ourselves into. And he began to give me steps to take to do that. And I kid you not, y'all, over the last 2 months, I have actually seen that number go down. I've been tracking this for the last year, and as of 2 months ago, we had more debt 2 months ago than we did a year ago, and all of our cards have had 0% interest. We've been paying the minimum payments, which is a huge chunk, which means that it should have been going down over the last year, but instead it's gotten higher. But since I started implementing the steps that the Lord was giving me 2 months ago, we've actually been seeing that go down. And then a couple days ago, I felt this call by the Lord to start posting this debt payoff journey online to inspire hope. Because right now, times are really hard. And I keep hearing left and right that people aren't even able to afford groceries. People are just drowning in debt. People don't know what to do. And so by sharing my story of what the Lord has been teaching us and what we are doing, I'm hoping that this will inspire hope in your situation, that no matter how bad it looks, if you follow him and you do what it is that he's asking you to do, if you're willing to have your mindsets changed, you can get out of this hole that you are into. If you have been in debt and you have gotten out of it, I am totally teachable. Please post it in the comments, like what you have done that has helped you. If you're not in debt, you're welcome here to spectate. And if you're ready to be able to steward an abundant life, follow along, because I'm going to the promised land. I don't want to continue going in cycles like this, like the Israelites did for 40 years. I want to eventually get to the promised land.
38 days ago, I made the best decision of my life and brought my credit card debt to the internet. Yes, I was terrified because I didn't want anybody to judge me, but since doing so, we have paid off 2 credit cards in full. I would have never been able to do that quickly if I wouldn't have brought it to TikTok. And now we're working on my next lowest card, which is sitting at $560. I do have a lot of big pet sitting jobs coming up over the next few weeks, so we're going to get that paid down very quickly, especially with TikTok's help too. If you're watching this right now and you're in a similar situation like me, you're struggling with credit card debt, student loans, medical bills, whatever it may be, you're struggling with something financially, I promise you need to start a series. You're going to find people who are exactly like you, so you're no longer going to feel alone. It's going to hold you accountable, and you're going to be able to grow your account because people are going to follow along. That way they can come back and check where you've gotten with your progress. Starting this series has been the best thing that I ever done for myself. But like I say in every video, we're just going to continue watching this tech go down little by little. And if you made it this far, please remember to do all the things for me so we can get this video pushed out even more.
My heart is beating 1,000,000 miles per hour and I'm shaking because I'm about to share with the world how much debt I am in. So get ready. Before I tell you the total amount, I want to preface this by saying I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm really not even looking for advice. I'm not looking for your opinions. There's nothing that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. This is 13 years worth of really bad financial decisions, being irresponsible, really bad mental health episodes. There's no excuse for it. I've been praying and I've been asking God to lift this off of my shoulders and to help me find a way to take care of this and to get ourselves out of debt, so that I can stop saying things to my kids like, we can't afford that. This debt is spread out over 11 credit cards. This is just credit card debt. We have payments on these credit cards ranging from $30 all the way up to $620, which is why we are barely making it paycheck to paycheck, because all of our money is going to credit card payments. Like, I'm going to throw up. I'm ready to share my truth. I'm ready to share my story, to figure this out. Whether it takes a year or 10 years to get it paid off, I'm gonna take you guys through all of it, through the ups and the downs, hard times, the good times, and the amount of credit card debt that I am in. $88,811. Okay, I'm going to go throw up and probably not show my face on this app for the rest of the day because I can't believe I'm admitting this to the world.
How do some of y'all have $27,000 in credit card debt? I just want to know.
Years ago, I was in $60,000 of credit card debt, so I'll tell you exactly how that happened because I also never thought that I would get there, and it really does happen kind of fast. So the number one factor for me was the fact that I had so much anxiety and shame around money that I would actively avoid my finances. Like, I couldn't even look at my bank account, let alone sit down and make a budget. So all this in money advice and how to get yourself out of debt and whatever was kind of irrelevant to me, because if I couldn't even get myself to the computer to like open my bank account, I couldn't do the rest of it. And because I didn't have a budget and was avoiding my finances, it was really easy for me to not know how much I was spending month to month on like subscriptions and various expenses that you accumulate over time. Plus, this was like the worst mental health period of my life. So my ADHD was rearing its ugly head and I was impulse spending. I also just had a very nihilistic attitude of like, it doesn't even matter, whatever, I'll just deal with it later. But the thing that you don't realize when you first start getting into credit card debt is how quickly the interest compounds over time. And this is how you can go from having like 8,000 in credit card debt to 27,000 or 60,000 or whatever it is, because all of your cash is now going to two things. It's going to rent, maybe a few different utilities payments that you can't put on a credit card. It's going to your minimums, right? And your minimums on your credit cards are growing every single month, even if you don't put a single new charge on that credit card. When all of your cash is going to your credit card minimums, or even paying off a little bit more than your minimums to try to like get ahead, you're still having to put a lot of your purchases on credit cards because you're out of cash. So that, combined with the money avoidance, to me was this perfect storm of like, I just didn't know how quickly debt would accumulate once it started. Like once the ball started rolling, it gets away from you really fast. So the question is not how does someone end up with that much debt? The question is like, what are the patterns that got you into debt in the first place and that are keeping you from dealing with the debt? Because those are going to be the same patterns that turn this into like a wildfire that spreads really quickly. I actually have a step-by-step process for dealing with your money anxiety and your fear of looking at your bank accounts if that's something you resonate with. So comment below and I will send it to you.